You play the game on the brink of disaster. I think everybody knows that it is a combat sport. You can't legislate the violence out of football. I think the NFL, Roger Goodell and the NFL has done an amazing job really trying to take protective measures to protect the football players the best they can. But there's only a certain amount of protection you can give an NFL guy. They've changed the kickoff rules and the length and the distance and all this other kind of stuff. So in that respect, yes. But I think when you start talking about like brain injury, there are a lot of things, and this is not a deflective, comment here, in that there's so many other things we're doing in our lives that has impact on our mental health, on our brain. I take, for instance, I present to you sugar.
The worst.
Yeah, sugar, and it's all over our culture, but it's widely accepted, and the amount of inflammation that it brings to the brain. And if you look at the overall numbers of NFL players who are playing, and again, this is not to minimize, there are real guys who are going through real stuff that have taken a lot of head injuries. And but we also understand what we're signing up for. No different than boxing, no different than any of the other sports where you can have the same amount of head injury. Now, you get this repetitive injury with football, and it's dangerous. It's a dangerous sport. Nobody's going to tell you anything differently. I don't know how to reckon the choices and the decisions that you make when you step into that. I guess you could make the choice and the decision not to play. My son has followed suit. I try to get him to play basketball. Quite frankly, I was like, I don't know if you want it. Like, if you don't want it, like, you got to be a different personality. You got to be a different beast.
You got to be a different cat.
You got to be a different cat. But he insisted, and he stayed on it. And so,
is he that guy?
Yeah, he's going to be that guy. He's still got a lot of work to do. He's going to be that guy, but he's moved towards that. But I look at myself, I look at my brother, I look at a lot of my friends who I played with, and a lot of them are healthy. And so I think when we start to magnify a lot of the injuries, right? Like if you started to magnify a lot of the plane accidents that are happening that we've seen like in the media, you're like, dang, you feel like every other plane is going down. But overall, plane rides have been pretty safe when you look at the overall, and especially look at the length of time that NFL players play in the NFL. There's about 2.5 years of that. So anyways, I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying football is safe, because it's not. It's a dangerous sport, but it's also a choice that a lot of athletes make.